changing a mixed number to an improper fraction. Before we go into the instructions, let's take a look at this. If we have one whole pizza, and then we have 3 pieces out of 4, this would be one whole pizza and 3 out of 4 remaining. And that's equal to the same thing as 7 over 4. Now if you notice, if you look at this first pizza here on the right, you will see that there's 4 pieces. And then over here you have 3, so that's 7 out of 4. Now if you take a look at this, if we cut this into 4, then this is the same thing as 4 over 4, plus we have 3 pieces over 4, which is the same thing as 1 plus 3/4, which gives us this 1 3/4. Okay, now over here, it's the same thing. If we take a look at how many pieces that we have here, we have 4 out of 4. And over here, we have 3 out of 4. So if we add those together, it's going to give us a common denominator. 4 plus 3 is 7 over 4. So you can see here, this means the same thing. Now, the instructions first is to multiply the denominator of the fraction, which is the same thing as a divisor, by the whole number, which is the quotient. Now, then we're going to add the product to the numerator, which is the remainder of the fraction, and then we're going to place the sum of the denominator of the divisor. So let's take a look down here. Okay, so if you look here, we have the fraction 1 and 3/4. So we're going to take 4 and then multiply that by 1. So when we take 4 and then we multiply that by 1, we get 4. And then we're going to take that 4 and then we're going to add it to the 3. So we're going to add that to 3. And so if you notice here, 4 plus 3 is going to give us 7 over the denominator of 4. And therefore the mixed number is the improper fraction is 7 over 4. Okay, now let's take a look at these next 3 examples. So we have all mixed numbers. We want to convert them to improper fractions. So we're going to write out our fraction, which is mixed number, which is 3 and 1/4. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take 3 and then we're going to multiply that by 4. Or 4 times 3. And then what we're going to do is then we're going to take that number and then add 1. So let's take a look at the next step. So we know 4 times 3 is 12. And then we're going to add 1 and then we're going to leave the denominator. So now what's 12 plus 1? That is 13 over 4. And now we have our improper fraction of 13 over 4. Okay, let's take a look at the mixed number 1 and 3/8. So again, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this denominator and multiply it by the number of 1. And then we're going to take that number and then add 3. So again, let's take a look at this. We know that 8 times 1 is 8. And then we're going to add the 3 and then divide that by the denominator, which is 8. So therefore, 8 plus 3 is 11 over 8. And now it is an improper fraction. Okay, let's take a look at the last example. We have 2 and 7/10. So we have 2 and 7 over 10. So again, we're going to take 10 and multiply it by 2. And then whatever we get from that, we're going to add 7. So 10 times 2 is 20. And then we're going to add 7. And then we're going to divide it by the denominator, which is 10. And so therefore, 20 plus 7 is 27 over 10. And therefore, there is our improper fraction.